Hello, this is Billy Core from the Nostalgia Mall. I am back from my February hiatus that I decided to take for many reasons. One, I spent a week in bed with flu A. I do not recommend getting that, it was not fun. And needed a mental health break as well. And I was out of town for a couple of days. So, yeah, my February was kind of interesting to say the least, but I am back with a new computer project. We are with one of my favorite computers in my collection. This is the Gateway 2000 P5-90. I've had this for almost 7 years now. Of course, it was built in August of 1994, and it's been a mainstay in my collection for the last 7 years. I like it because it almost resembles my aunt's Gateway 2000 P5-100 XL. Same case design and everything. Only real difference is the processor speed. So that's one of the reasons why I like this one so much. But there are a few quirks regarding this system that have always gotten on my nerves. And it's all down to the kind of motherboard that's in this computer. I don't know what was with these early Pentium base motherboards that Gateway 2000 was using circa 1994, but they were not really the best if you ask me. For one thing, they use a Dallas clock chip, which is one of the biggest sins in vintage computing, if you ask me. And it was soldered to the board when I got it. And I have no soldering skills whatsoever, but my dad and I did attempt to get it out of there, and we did get it out of there, but at the cost of destroying the motherboard traces. So, DalsDude1 here on YouTube was able to source an identical motherboard and replace the clock chip for me with a socket. So, big thanks to him. Other thing I don't like about it is the PCI bus on here can be a little bit slow, especially with network cards. Whenever I use a network card in this computer, it seems like transfer speeds are a little slower than it should be. Not a deal breaker, but it is a little bit of an annoyance. But the third thing that really irritates me about this motherboard, and I can confirm this is the motherboard, is that it is very picky about creative sound blasters, and I do not know why. The issue is if you can get a simple Sound Blaster Vibro with the right installation program, that's the key, it'll work. But it's when you try to install the drivers through DOS or even Windows 3.1, I can't remember how it went in 95, you get one of the weirdest glitches I've ever seen. And let me demonstrate this. I'll just open up this creative installation program. Apologies for the flickering. Watch what happens when I hit enter. It actually works. I did not expect that. I am a fool. I don't know why it decided to work on camera, but this motherboard is still irritating, so we're going to do something about that today. Right here we have a motherboard replacement that I ordered off eBay. This is a much later motherboard. Uses what a novel concept, a CR2032 that can be removed. And I believe this came out of a Gateway 2000 P575. Don't know if it was a desktop or a tower, but it has a manufacture date of April 8th, 1996, so quite a bit newer than what's in here now. And this is a Pentium 75. I may try and put the Pentium 90 that's in there now into this, but I'll probably have to look up jumper settings and everything. I don't know if I feel like doing that right now. I might just leave it at a 75 just for now. It's got 8 megs of RAM. I'll transfer the 32 megs that's in this one now to this. And our 2 PS2 ports. This is essentially a baby AT motherboard, but with PS2 ports on it. And seller says it works, so I'll take their word for it. Alright, let's shut all this off and get to work. Alright, we'll go ahead and take the cover off. Just remembered another benefit of putting this newer motherboard in is that I'll have the ability to use larger hard drives, or CF cards in my case. This one has a strict 2 GB limit, even with the latest BIOS update, but the newer one I think will take maybe up to 8 GB, so yeah, that's more than enough for this computer. I'll probably keep using my 2 gig CF card for Windows 95 because I don't have any other CF cards to use at the moment. Feel kind of bad about taking the original motherboard out of this computer. Well, it's, I guess not the original, but it's the same model that would have come with this. But it'll still be a Gateway 2000 motherboard, just a little bit newer, with some more convenience added to it. There's the innards. There's our Vibra sound card. I think I remember this. The only type of creative sound card that this computer likes, this motherboard at least, are Vibras for some reason. So that's probably why the setup started working all of a sudden. I just stuck this card in here the other week when I tried my Sound Blaster All-32, which didn't work in here because of aforementioned issues. That All-32 is in another computer right now, and I intend to move it over to this one when we get the new board in. Go. Here's our network card. Here it is. Network card is stuck. Oh, that's nice. Don't want to break the slot. All right, let's go ahead and just take the video card out of here. This is a ATI Mach 64, 2 megs of video memory, which would have been enormous in 1994. There we go. I don't know if you saw that or not. Okay. Let's try to get this network card out. I don't know how this got stuck. Okay, there we go. Okay, standard issue 3-com Etherlink. Unplug the parallel and serial ports. Unplug motherboard power. Unplug floppy and hard drive. And CD drive. And we'll go ahead and unplug our front panel headers. I'll get this screw out of here. I don't know what that's doing here. And I think that's all, so we can go ahead and unscrew it. Alright, I think that's all the screws. It's going to come out. Nope, there's one under this RAM slot I don't know if I'll be able to get to without taking the RAM out, which I was going to do anyway, but I'd rather do it out of the case. Okay, there we go. The screw in? I don't know. We'll find it. And I'm not going to get rid of this motherboard, of course. I'm going to keep it as a spare. I may need it someday. I have a busted gateway. Got the screw. And here's the old motherboard with that awful Dallas clock chip. I don't know why I never replaced it with one of those newer ones that uses the coin cell. But here we are. And here's our new motherboard, which is actually, well, a little smaller. I guess it'll still fit. Before we put that in there are a couple things I want to do first. Okay, on this new motherboard, I was taking a closer look at it, and it looks like there are dip switches on here to adjust for the CPU clock speed, and there's a little guide on here that tells you which switches to use. And I've already lost it. It's okay, right now it's at 75 megahertz, which is switches 7 and 8 off and off. And for 90, we need 7 to be on and 8 to be off. So we just need to adjust switch number 7, it looks like. There we go. I think that did it. So that means we can go ahead and swap CPUs. I'll go ahead and take this 75 out. These are always such a pain. I might have to do this off camera just so I don't hurt myself. Okay, there's clip off. Thankfully this uses a metal lever. There we go. And I'll set it aside. And here's our P5-90, which doesn't have a clip. That's bizarre. But hey, we'll just go with the flow, I guess. Okay. Grab a new one. I've already forgotten what the proper orientation is. I think it looks like this way. There we go. We've got ourselves a P5-90 now. And I will go ahead and, I really should be testing all this before I overhaul all this, but I live life on the edge, I guess. And we don't want a mere 8 megs. We want a nice whopping 32. Which I am currently taking off the other board right now as we speak. Okay. Make 0. Okay, I got the notch the right way, it looks like. Actually, I better do it this way first. Okay, while we're at it, I went out and bought a fresh pack of CR2032s. And I'm pretty sure this battery is no good. I really shouldn't be doing this. Just a reminder, this is not a how-to video. Okay, got it out with some pliers. That can go in over there. And there we go. It's another reason why I wanted a new motherboard. I just don't want to deal with Dallas clock chips. Even though that one is socketed now, so it wouldn't be a big deal to replace nowadays. But, now a moment of truth, will this fit? Okay, let's see if this will fit. I think it will. Oh yeah, it looks like it'll be okay. Although some of these, I might not be able to screw all the screws in. I don't know if I have any spare case headers. Okay, I think that's in there good enough. Go ahead and hook up a few things. This is LPT1, and that goes right here. Okay. This one is COM2. Goes right there, and presumably COM1 will go right here. Okay, this is the floppy, which is not keyed. So, this may or may not work first go. We may have to fiddle with that a little more, turn it around at least. Okay. Speaker goes right here. Kind of a tight fit. I'll just go ahead and get the front panel out of the way. It's my least favorite part. Okay, I've run into one issue, and that involves the reset switch. This cable is too short to reach to the header. So I am not going to be able to plug that in for now. If anyone knows if there exists a extension for these, let me know. So I'll go ahead and install the power. Just remember, black to black. Okay, now the hard drive or CF card. Okay, which one's the primary? This one. And CD-ROM. Is it going to reach? There we go. I think that's everything minus the reset switch, unfortunately. So let's hook it up and see what happens. You know, I think I got a little ahead of myself. Maybe it'd be a good idea to put some expansion cards in here so we can have video. So we'll go ahead and Get our ATI card in here. Next up, network. Now I think I might have to move some headers around because the ISA slots are in different places in the other board. And the sound card, which will be this beautiful AW32. And it can go right here. I thought it would go right there. There's components in the way. Yay. How about right here? Okay. I think it'll be fine there. And I'll put a slot link right here for the NG1. Alright, let's find out how bad we've screwed things up. 3, 2, 1. Oh, we've got no video signal. That's exactly what I wanted to happen. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to happen. I was planning for this motherboard not to work. Now, I have never made a video on YouTube before claiming to be an expert on anything, and today is no exception. You see, a while ago you saw this computer not post, and so what I did was I tore almost the whole thing back apart, put this motherboard back the way it was, and it still wouldn't work. Turns out all it was the hard drive IDE connector was in backwards. Yeah, don't do like me. Don't look too far into an issue because usually it's not that big a deal. But anyway, it now works. Even tries to boot from the CF card. But I think I'm going to go into the BIOS first. I'm surprised it didn't ask me for date and time. What? How is there a BIOS password? Who in the right mind would use a BIOS password? Okay. We'll figure this out. Okay, I found the dip switch for clearing the password. I don't have the sound card in at the moment because it was blocking it, but everything looks okay now. Today is March 4th of 2025. Time is 2 o'clock exactly. Boot options, yeah, it looks good. I'll turn the unlock on. Everything looks fine. I may regret turning that plug and play stuff on later, but we'll see. Alright, it seems like a happy computer now. Now before, when it was loading the creative plug and play manager, it was causing Windows to reboot, so that's an improvement. And we've lost our CD drive for some reason, it looks like. Let me take a look at that. Okay, looks like it picked it up now. I think it was just a loose connection on the motherboard end. Love easy fixes like that. Always a pleasant surprise. There we go. Let me go ahead and plug the sound card back in. Okay, now I don't know if I'm going to keep this DOS installed or not. I might just reformat it and start from scratch. But I am going to see how the setup process for this will go now if we get better results. Alright, this is further than I was getting before on the other motherboard. Hard drive LED is working. The turbo LED is not. I need to, I guess, switch that connector around. Alright, give it a reboot. Alright, that's looking promising. Let's head into Windows. See what we got going on there. Alright, we got a sound effect there. Okay. Very promising. Very, very promising. Do a MIDI test. Oh, yeah. Beautiful. so nice to be able to use the sound card I want and the computer I want it in. I mean, the computer I had it in before, my P5-166XL, was a fine computer for it, but this was the computer I originally wanted it in. So, yeah, this was money well worth spent. I just hate that about the reset button. Only thing I can think of is if I can find some kind of extension for it. If such a thing exists, which I hope it does. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, this is Billy Core signing off. Thank you for visiting the Nostalgia Mall. Please follow me on social media for channel and project updates. You may also support me on Patreon or as a channel member if you'd like. Until next time, this is Billy Core signing off.